Chris Goldsmith is a Grammy Award-winning music producer, having worked with many successful artists such as the Blind Boys of Alabama and Ruthie Foster. Chris is an avid surfer and has regularly played basketball for over 30 years. Chris stopped by the Wildcat Basketball camp to talk to the campers about teamwork and success.
As far as what I do for a living, I work for myself. I worked in a music business my whole life. I've been a musician. I've been what we call an agent in the music business, and I worked for a couple different companies over the years. About 10 years ago, I went out on my own and started doing producing. I produce bands in the studio, and I do live concert production. I work a lot with the Belly Up nightclub, which is down in Solana Beach. So, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with basketball, but it's a good job, and music has been a good career for me. I think as far as basketball goes, the best basketball I ever have is when the best guy on the team, which is never me, makes himself better by involving everybody. And I think if there's anything that you can take away, and I've been on a court many times where this gentleman is by far the best person on the team, and he probably rarely ever takes the most shots of anybody on the team, yet his team usually wins. And that's because he realizes that in order for a team to be successful, everybody has to be involved. And as a leader on a team, you've got to include everybody. You may think you're the best guy on the team and that you should shoot the ball every time. Well, I've seen a lot of teams and been on a lot of teams where we've had the best player on the floor and lost because by the time everybody figures out this guy ain't passing the ball, everybody just collapses on him and there's nothing left to do except sit around and watch. Your teammates don't help you on defense. It all boils down to sharing the ball. The funnest time you can have is when everybody's passing the ball, and my favorite possession is one where the ball never even hits the floor. It just passed down the court, passed to the guy ahead, passed back to the guy that's cutting down the floor, and put the ball in the basket. Pass and move are my favorite two pieces of advice. Move without the ball. Doesn't matter what you do with the ball. Matters as much or more what you do without the ball. Keeps the flow of the game going and keeps it fun, you know. It's only fun for one person if you're just dribbling around, and then it's not fun for them very long because you end up losing. So, you know, I just think that I wish that when I was young I had a coach like Jason, or I had an opportunity to get my skills up and going, and maybe I'd have played in high school and all of that. But even without that, even if you don't end up on a team, on your junior high team or your high school team, there's still plenty to learn from basketball and from team sports. And you know, I encourage you just to work on your skills and keep it going, and you can have a good career in sports or out of sports and still have basketball be a part of your life. So.
All right. A lot of people like music, right? Now, Coach, would you say that you need teamwork as a producer or as an agent to produce an album, to produce a hit song?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think you know, again, the best singers, the best guitar players out there, the world is full of amazing guitar players that are only playing in their house, and they're working at the 7-Eleven. And that's because they don't have a team around them. You know, it really, in the music business, I'm a producer. You know, I can play an instrument, but I'm not a professional musician. There's an engineer, there's a drummer and a bass player, there's a booking agent, there's a publicity person, there's a record label. You know, one guy probably has 30, 40 people working with him, and they all need to work together for that person to be successful. I learned the other day, it's because it's gone up, I was really surprised, 70,000 albums were released last year in the United States. 70,000. Of those, I think less than 5,000 of them went on to sell better than 10,000 units. Wow. So out of those 70,000, 5% maybe are what you would call a success. And it doesn't have to do with talent. Talent's just one component. It has to do with hard work, perseverance, and an ability to work within a team and to have a good team around you. And that's the difference between the records that are successful and aren't, just like in sports.
Right. So a lot of times You know, what he's saying is this teamwork that you guys are learning, even in this camp and the teams that you guys play with, teamwork is something that you're going to use for the rest of your life. Whether it's in basketball, the music business, whatever your interests are, you will always need to work with someone if you're going to reach your maximum success.
Yep.
Coach, would you say that sometimes in the music business there's some things that maybe you don't feel like doing but they're necessary to do? In basketball, we might not feel like working on our ball handling, but it's necessary if we're going to be good. Are there some things like that in your business?
I would say every day you have to do things that you don't want to do in any business, and definitely in the music business. I mean, a lot of people hear that I'm in the music business and they go, oh, that's so cool, you hang out with bands and you do all of that. And the best days in the music business and the best times in the music business are awesome. But you know, in anything in life, there's a lot of work that goes into those successes. You don't get to those successes, and I've been a part of 5 albums that have won Grammys over the years, and you know, none of those albums did the Grammy just float down and get handed to us. You know, we worked for months and years, and sometimes argued, and you know, sometimes were rejected, and sometimes didn't get the breaks that we wanted. It takes perseverance to get there, and we definitely without it we wouldn't have any success.
Now, I want you guys. Did you guys hear what this man just said? Okay. No. You have to understand what he just said. The answer to today's trivia question was, who won the national championship in college, right? That was the answer. That was the question. And we're looking for the national champ. The national championship in college basketball is the highest that you can get in college basketball. He just said that he was part of an album, several albums, 5 albums, where he won a Grammy. The Grammy is like the national, it's like the world championship. So Michael Jordan has how many rings? 6, right?
Yeah. I'm looking for one more.
He's got 5, he's looking for one more. The Grammy is the highest you can get in music. That's who's talking to you today. This guy has a lot of experience, and he's telling you that it takes teamwork and it takes hard work. Sometimes doing things that you don't feel like doing. He just said that's the same in his business. You may think that you're going to find your dream job, and you may, but your dream job is still going to come with some things that you don't feel like doing. Some things that might get on your nerves. But if you can bear with it, if you can persevere, like he said, you get a chance to have that moment in the sun, that spotlight, that championship. And I think that's a valuable lesson for all of us, no matter what it is that we go to do.